Meantime, right now, new at 5:30. In 2 months, Bull City history will play out on the big screen.
Yeah, it is a movie based on the book The Best of Enemies by Osha Gray Davidson. A timely lesson as we mark Black History Month. Tisha Powell is here now with a preview.
Amber and Joel, it tells the story of the unusual bond between civil rights activist Ann Atwater and CP Ellis, a former leader of the KKK. The two were able to forge a true friendship as they worked together to improve Durham public schools. It's a story about finding common ground that many say is as important now as it was back then. The scene is set. Durham, North Carolina, 1971. The movie The Best of Enemies may have been filmed in Atlanta, but the story of Ann Atwater and CP Ellis is uniquely Durham. It goes back to a time when tensions in the public schools were reaching a boiling point as laws passed to desegregate met resistance. A man named Bill Riddick was brought in to lead a federally funded program to smooth the road to desegregation by holding a 10-day-long community meeting called a charrette.
When I was introduced to the tool, it just seemed to me to be a fascinating tool to solve community problems.
Dr. Diane Bloom, a qualitative researcher at UNC and independent filmmaker, produced a documentary called An Unlikely Friendship about how the charrette brought Atwater and Ellis together as co-chairs at R.N. Harris Elementary School.
It was about how they came to, how they were two arch enemies, but they gradually got to know each other working in the charrette and became like lifelong friends, which was amazing to me.
Hey, you go damn well listen to us.
Amazing because Ann Atwater, portrayed in the movie by Taraji P. Henson, was a boisterous, courageous woman, big in personality and stature, who used every bit of it to fight for her Haiti community. Claiborne Paul Ellis, or CP as they called him, played by Sam Rockwell, was the exalted cyclops of the Ku Klux Klan, an unlikely pair who in just over a matter of days became friends.
They began to talk about their children and the difficulties both of their children had in school, and they kind of bonded over that, and through working together they realized how much more alike they were than different.
And I think that's important.
A concept Durham native and State Senator Floyd McKissick Jr. hopes will resonate with moviegoers.
I think that now more than ever we need to encourage people to come together. We need to encourage inclusiveness, not divisiveness. We need to encourage understanding and collaboration. We need for people to understand that we have far more in common than we have differences. And there must be mutual respect for our differences.
Both Atwater and Ellis have since passed away, but their legacies live on through family.
She was Big Ann, and I'm Little Ann.
Ann Nakia Green is Ann Atwater's granddaughter, who now lives in Texas, but still keeps in touch with her Uncle CP's family.
I mean, my grandmother actually did his eulogy when he passed away. Like, we were family. And I still look at them as family.
She's also proud to have some of Big Ann's attitude and hopes it will rub off on others who see the film.
Speaking my truth, speaking up for myself, speaking up for people who may not be able or have the capacity to speak up for themselves. I feel like I embody a lot of who she was and who she is. I mean, I have some really, really, really big shoes to fill.
And CP Ellis' grandson says that he wants his grandfather to be remembered as a man who made mistakes but had the strength to recognize those mistakes and grow above them. Many Durham leaders, past and present, want to point out that Durham was actually on the forefront of integration long before the charrette in '71, passing local ordinances ordering desegregation long before it became federal law. They say this story is just one of many about the courageous people of Durham who fought for civil rights. The movie comes out on April 5th.
And it helps us kind of understand our current challenges here if we understand those stories from the not so distant past.
Very interesting story. I'm excited to see the movie April 5th.
Yeah, we're going to check it out.
So live.
Yeah, thank you.